Hi, Verna Fisher here, Integrative Wisdom, part 3 of grief work. And you know, it is work to be present to such a deep and delicate emotion. It is work to be brave enough to recognize that there's deep stuff happening in our lives that's affecting us greatly. And the easiest thing it sometimes seems to do is to push it away and say, I'm not going to deal with that right now. I can't deal with that right now. That is a coping strategy, by the way, to set it aside for now. Let's say you have to be responsible for a family and you need to be the one to get them through their day. So you do. You cope. You set your feelings and concerns aside and take care of what needs to be done for those that are a part of your life. So how we cope with these feelings of sorrow and sadness and loss, the uncertainty, the fear, the distress in not knowing what the future is going to bring, and maybe even worse, scared to death of what the future might bring, because we have that sense of that loss of control, and our security, a blanket, and our rug has been pulled out from under our feet. So today, I thought a little bit about this idea of resilience, and are there ways to help us be more resilient so that these deep feelings that we have don't get stuck in depression, or don't get stuck in denial, or don't get stuck in the bad coping mechanisms of numbing the pain, because it's still going to reside in the body, which is still going to affect our immune system. So we want to be able to have an opportunity to honor the grief and the loss and that deep emotion that we can be feeling, or even the anger and the ugly feelings like that, right? I'm mad at the whole frickin' world and I don't care what I do to it. Well, that's not healthy either. So these emotions, I'm going to just list off some of the ones I had here, besides sorrow, sadness, loss, anger, frustration, depression, guilt, blaming. We could be blaming the world. We could be blaming God. We could be blaming our best friends. We could be blaming our neighbors. We could be blaming the government. We could be doing a lot of blaming. And that has a very powerful effect upon us as well. And so to be in that space of recognizing these emotions, but then not letting them get stuck in the cell body that this person is, right? We don't want it to get stuck in there, because it does bad things to us. We don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want physical ailments because of our grief. We want to honor the grief, because if we have been in a place of this deep loss of all of these, on all these levels, we want to honor that. We want to give it the right expression. And so with this idea of resiliency, a part of the work is to take time, to honor it. And so a little bit of this is going to depend, again, on personality styles and how you see the world. You may be very practical, and you may not see a need for this. You may be much more intuitive, and this may be right up your alley to do something like this. Whatever it is that you might find useful in that practical way for those who are practical. But while you're doing it, acknowledge this is to speak to you, grief. This is to honor you, grief. This is to honor those deep feelings and emotions that I've been carrying around. So, what are some choices that we can turn to increase the resiliency that we have and to honor the depth of emotion of our grief and loss? So I've just listed some. So, I have my beautiful clipboard that I absolutely love and adore. And so here we go. There are activities such as number one, to focus on our spiritual support, whatever that might be for each individual. So the concept of prayer or meditation or quiet time, lighting a candle and just focusing at the flame, breathing deeply while we're doing this. Breath is an amazing healing tool. Journaling, writing down um, a focus letter to either the thing we've lost or the person that we've lost or to the situation, and tell it how you feel, right? Or just journal in general, the struggle that you're having. And maybe in that journaling, as you do that, you will be able to suddenly see glimmers of light that are coming as well during this time. Being in nature for some of us is a very healing way to address our feelings, and just taking that gentle walk. For others, it's more of a power walk or an exercise and lifting weights and getting out there and doing the cardio. Again, what I would say as far as grief work is, in the moments that you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, that you consciously say, this is in honor of. This is to address you, grief. You, grief, and I are out for this walk right now. You, grief, and I are journaling right now. I am tending to you. I am being with you. I am not pretending like you don't exist. Right? So it's a little bit different than if you normally exercise. And sometimes you might exercise to forget what's happening, right? You might exercise to forget. This is a different moment. So it's focused action. I am tending to you. I am showing up to you. I am here for you. And you may find that you have tears that just make their way out. Well, that's again a cleansing. That's a cleansing for your body, your mind, your soul. So what you want to be aware of is it even more emotion in the sense of anger, and you might want to hit the pillow or whatever, as long as you don't take it out to the world or actually harm. That is not resilient. That is a cry for more support and help. And there is that support community out there, right here at Integrative Wisdom. Reach out, have a conversation. Anyway, we're up at 9 minutes. This one was not meant to be a short one, so sorry about that. Anyway, not really sorry, because this is important stuff, right? So I will meet you back here tomorrow, and we will wrap up this week our grief work from an integrative wisdom perspective. All right, everybody, take care.